Everyone hates Hillary. Sharon goes camping. And Victoria gets drunk and brash and sassy. All that and more on the Restless Wrap-Up.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Well, here's that sound again, and you guys know what that means. It's time for us to discuss the week that was in Genoa City. I'm, of course, your host, Lacretia Lyon, and you guys can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. But there isn't just one person in here. I, of course, have my sharp-dressed man here with me today.
Alexander, the only Latino in Genoa City.
Luca doesn't count?
No, he's like Italian, but all of a sudden he was speaking Spanish. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air and OnTheRocksRadioshow.com.
And Kiera is not with us today, but you guys can always find her at Kiera Giovanni anywhere, since there is only one of her too, I think.
She's in the Bahamas and she just texted me.
I know.
Girl. Bahamania.
Oh, but let's just get into it. I love that this week has just been hating on Hillary since she's been...
Finally, Hillary is getting her comeuppance.
Finally.
I mean, she is getting it. When it's like the top of the agenda of like the board meeting.
Oh, yeah.
P.S. That board meeting, it looked like Punky Brewster's bedroom, by the way. Did you notice? That boardroom was a little funky.
That shows a little before my time.
Oh, how dare you, Lacretia? Thank you for pointing out my age. No, it was the weirdest boardroom I've ever seen. But she is getting it from left and right, and Devon's like, I'm supporting you. But that's how he said it, too.
And see, I love when Devon has balls. What happened to that? We just flip-flop each week. It's like, who's the man here?
But I love the look on Hillary's face. I mean, literally, no. If she was, like, pulled over on the side of the road and needed a ride, nobody would come pick her up. Like, they would just drive right by.
It's that sourpuss face.
Yeah. And her whole thing, like, in front of the press, by the way, like, her... she's so ridiculous. Hillary, get a clue.
Yeah, I love that Yvette Nicole Brown keeps reprising her role as Lois, the nosy reporter, because it's just so fun now.
It is. Like, with her eyes, and she's like, wah. And she asks, like, all, like, the shady questions, you know? Like, she's the shadiest character.
Yeah, she's the Harvey Levin of Genoa City.
I love that. I love that. I thought for sure they were going to vote Hillary off of the board, by the way. I thought for sure.
Well, Jack's balls are with Devon's and Hillary's purse, apparently. I mean, I just couldn't believe he flip-flopped again. And it's just like, and that's the thing. As if I were Phyllis, I'd been banging Billy on that desk. After a knee defensor?
They might as well have. Remember, she walked in, she was like, what are you doing here? I'm like, is this Sharon or Phyllis? Like, give it away now.
Yes, brought to you by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, but I love how Phyllis, like, got up during the board meeting and she was walking around just like she did in court for Victor's hearing. Like, she goes where she wants.
Yeah, I love that about Phyllis. You know, she doesn't just sit down. She's just like, getting up, like going around the table, like...
Like, she owns that room. And then they decided to keep her. She grabbed her purse. She walked out. No meeting adjourned. No, like, next order business. She was out.
That was the lady equivalent to dropping the mic.
Yes, it was. And she looks damn good doing it. I will say that. But what do you think Hillary's going to do to, like, get some friends?
I don't know. And I was kind of hoping that this whole, you know, after we've ushered the adorable Dr. Neville off and she's getting treatment from Dr. Will Know Have to Live there, I thought that this was going to bring back some of her likable personality, because I do like that she's a boss-ass bitch, but she's just stepped over to the line and just being a bitch.
Yeah, especially, like, Devon, we're not going to pay anybody. Girl, it's not even your money. Like, what do you, I mean, he's like a billionaire. Calm down, pay these people.
Yeah, I love how Lily's like, yeah, she just wants to hold on to all of Devon's money she can.
Oh, and I love there's a class action lawsuit, and we still don't have a name for the drug. The drug.
I know, and it's just so odd to me. It's like almost, if we don't have Dr. Neville, let's just wrap this up quickly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Lacretia, I wanted to ask you, you know, I know, you know, important things happened this week, but I felt like all of a sudden we hit the brakes a little bit and we're back into that, like, inertia. I wanted to know what you thought. I think that, you know, during this whole shift with executive producers, they've had to wrap up these stories, and now I think they're like, what do we do? I felt this week was like, where are we going?
Yeah, I totally agree that this week seemed a little off to me. There were good points of it,
yes.
like, you know, the camping storyline we'll get to later. But yeah, it just seems like they don't know what to do, and so they just keep pulling it on. And I'm like, I'm giving you ideas on what to do with Hillary. Just fix this.
Just call us.
I know.
But I also didn't like how Lily was like, oh, well, you know, it's only money, whatever. She told Devon to stay with Hillary to keep the money.
Yeah.
And now she's saying, oh, you know, he should, like, dump her and it's only money. Like, she needs to decide. Now she's like, you know, the boss's wife, and she thinks, you know.
Yeah, that to me is just like, I wanted so much more for Lily. We saw this light at the end of the tunnel with Kane getting a new job and then being more of the forefront, and then it just goes back to Lily and Hillary being at it, and Lily's whole life being all about Hillary. It's like, okay, we were excited to see that end. It's great if they're still like enemies, you know, like Sharon
like a
and
jab
Phyllis.
every now and then.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
That.
You know, like Sharon and Phyllis and stuff like that. But, you know, when you share a family, come together every once in a while.
Come together. Brought to you by the Beatles. And I love, you know, one of my favorite scenes is after the board meeting, she walks in to the bar with Devon, and the whole family's there, and they just turn and like slow look at her. Girl. I don't know. I think we need some family members from Hillary, like a long-lost somebody, to come be her friend.
Well, we do know Lieutenant Uhura is coming and possibly playing.
See, I think, yes. Oh, God. I love it. I love it. I love it. P.S. How did Lily end up on the board, by the way? Because when you're on the board of a foundation, you have to give like $10,000 for like, you know, to just be on the board.
Well, I mean, it's a family foundation, I guess,
well, that's
being
true.
that it's the Winters and that's her last name. I'm pretty sure they're just like, it's all in the family. like Billy. I'm like, Billy's just there too.
He was such a goof off. He's like, I don't even have to do it at a board meeting. And he was like, yes.
It's like, Billy, didn't you work at Jabot for like ever? I know you're the screw up, but not that big.
And he is really the screw up. I'm telling you, Lacretia, I know you love him. I'm officially over Billy. His attitude, his work ethic, his poutiness, his like running after Phyllis now like a little puppy. I am officially over Billy. Sorry.
Well, we'll get to him and Victoria later, because
Okay.
that did save it. Because I do agree that, again, this is where the storyline's going. They've made Billy and Phyllis, except for I loved Phyllis at the board meeting, so unlikable.
Thank
and
you. Yes.
they're usually my favorite characters.
Yeah. All right, Hillary. Fix your life.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I was so glad, you know, and it was Phyllis, but it honestly should have been Ashley putting her in her place. But Ashley had already done so several times that week, so I'm like, okay.
And Ashley's like a silent predator. I have to say, what I did love this week, there were so many one-liners this week from Jack, from Ashley. I know you're going to go over the shadiest moment. There was some really funny one-liners, even with the camping trip.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they were trying to lighten it, and it's trying to get back to that old-fashioned, you know, like Dynasty, you know? But Ashley's that silent predator, because she'll just kind of watch, and then Jackie.
Pounce.
Yeah, and then she says her line, and then she's out.
Yeah, to me, Ashley was just on point all this whole week, and this is what I'm loving to see. But again, let's get Ashley in her own storyline.
Yes, please.
And bring back Dr. Neville. I'm sorry.
Because now she and Jack are just standing around, kind of not really doing anything.
No.
Just trying to take care of everybody else's business, but being blind to everything. She and Jack are like literally put in the same level. I even wrote down, I was like, does Jack do anything? Phyllis is literally sitting in his chair, in his office, running the whole company, and he's just going from floor to floor like,
Well, see, you know, I guess one ball's in Phyllis's purse, the other one's in Hillary's with Jack. So, because yeah, it's again, let's see Jack go up against Victor, or you know, again, like
Yes, I wanna see
chastise
that.
Billy and Kane with Brash and Sassy. Let's get back to basics when it comes to Y&R, and yeah, because this board meeting was at least a very old school Y&R scene, but at the same time, it's just like, when is this whole Hillary mess gonna, you know, wrap it up? Because it's just drug on so long. We get, you know, she's annoying at this point, but she and Devon are still together, so let's get some better moments with them, because at this point, it's like, I'm not even seeing love between them.
because she doesn't love him at all. And in fact, the way that she flip-flopped in front of the press just because a camera was in her face, I mean, she still has no regard for Devon. So I think she was an evil person before the drug, after the drug, from birth. You're evil. Like, she's not capable of love at all. So to your point, you know, I thought the board meeting was going to go somewhere, and then we're still back where nothing's changed. I did love whenever she says, I think I should be the MC for the event. I was like, you sit down.
Yeah, Hillary just wants to be front and center, have her
Yes.
face on everything. And it's just like, Jack and Neil are both being very kind to you and letting you have a part because your mother was an alcoholic who lost her battle to addiction.
I'd be an alcoholic too if she was my daughter.
But yeah, it's like, okay, they're being nice to you and letting you have this, but why do you keep taking more? It's like, you're not
Thank you.
Walter White here, honey.
And she almost died too. Twice.
Exactly. And this is where it's like those were moments that we should have seen Hillary, go back to her old self that
I
was
agree.
initially with Devon. And, even after the affair, when she was married to Neil, it still was we had this heart. But it is completely gone.
It could have been her moment,
Yeah.
like you said, to say, you know what, guys, I was a real creep, for the last few months. Sorry, let's put this all behind us and move on. And she's, even Victor's pretending to move on and let's all be family again. She can't even do that.
Yeah, exactly. And Mel points out here in the chat that they need to give Hillary a mysterious illness to explain the out-of-character behavior and keep it moving. I refuse to believe that there's no reason for the complete shift in behavior.
Oh, well, that's a good point. Do you know what I would believe? I would believe that she was the evil twin sister that stepped in for Hillary. And the real Hillary is like, I was still kidnapped and no, I'm nice and all that. I would believe that and I would love that.
Yeah, even after the Marco Anicelli storyline, I think that it's like, could we at least get that as ridiculous as it is, use it, explain it, something.
Yeah. Oh, Hillary. Poor Hillary.
I know, but let's just move on from Hillary like I hope the writers do, and just let's get into the fun storyline,
Okay.
the camping storyline.
I think you and I are going to disagree on this. Okay, there was some comedy there. I was just like, what's the point of this?
I feel like they may be listening to people wanting something better for Sharon and not just the whole crazy mess. And to me, it was very sweet, especially with Mariah and Faith.
Very sweet moments.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Because, yeah, it was so nice to see Sharon for once not have a crazy look on her face worrying about stuff going on. And it was comedy.
Might you forget
Yeah.
when they were going to tell ghost stories?
That was the one
The baby
moment.
switching ghosts?
Yeah.
And Sharon literally did this.
Yeah, that was so funny. And Mariah's like, oh, let's go along
Yeah.
here. Like, smoothing it. It's like, that was the one moment. And it's just like, why did you have to throw that in? Because everything else in this camping storyline was just in its laying it on thick for this whole family to blow up. But yeah, it's like Dylan wanting to share this moment with Sully and so happy that Faith and Mariah could be a part of it. And it was just like, oh man, this is going to be a disaster. And plus, it was funny to see Nick chime in and be like, you're taking Sharon camping?
That was a great
Yeah.
moment because then we do see the history. We do see how this family has evolved and they've grown together, which they're going to need each other in the months to come. And I love the moment between Mariah and Sharon when they're eating the goat cheese and the crackers because we got to see Sharon being a young mother with Mariah that they never really got to have that playfulness in the relationship. And so they're really learning to be the family. And to your point, when she was cuddling Faith, that was really sweet. But why did the show put so much effort into the set, to all the props and everything? I thought somebody was going to get injured and they were going to have to do a blood test or something. That's where I thought it was going.
Yeah, to me, that would have honestly been a better, moment. But I guess it was really to tie it in with the Stitch and Abby was the only reason I thought getting Sharon the poison ivy, and then having them go off. But it did give us a nice moment of just Faith and Mariah that I think just. I've been wanting so much more for them to give Cameron Grimes more, better storylines. And this is at least, I guess, what they could do for now. Because it's like, this is a great scene between her and her little sister. And I love how Faith even brings up, you didn't have this growing up, did you? And they talk about it.
That's a really good point. And the fact that we see Kevin, her best friend and wannabe, a boyfriend, that he's getting all these family feels too. So so maybe Mariah, just like Abby grew up, maybe she's growing up. I do have to say, from a fashion point of view, her plaid shirt was covering over her t-shirt, and all I saw was CH, please, which to me is bitch please, right? I wake up saying that, right?
I think I saw it at one point, and it's beach please.
It is.
And it was
I
funny,
actually did research. I went to the website where you can see what they're wearing, and it's beach please. But I was like, ooh, they getting sassy on that set. And I loved the smokiness of the campfire set. It was a pretty good set, I have to say.
Yeah, that was a really nice outdoor set, which can't be always said for GA.
And, to see Dylan in flannel and jeans and sweating and roughing it. Yes.
Yeah, Steve Burton roughing it any day.
I will go on that camp trip, and I haven't been camping since 6th grade science camp when my mom had to pick me up early. Okay. True story.
Childhood trauma. Let's move past that, because yeah, this was a nice, like, fun scene, and it sort of blended with the Stitch and Abby. So I guess we'll kind of go there. Like, how hard was it to see Abby with Sully and just be so natural? And Sharon pointed out, and it's just like, you're really digging into the Stitch there.
Yeah. You know, my thing to Abby, number one, her pants were not fitting. That was a great outfit. Do you see how big her pants were?
I actually love big pants like that. That's why I was shocked that you didn't put her in best
No,
dress.
because it was too big and it made her look like she was wearing a diaper or something. Anyway, but my point to Abby is they need to give her something to work on as well, because she has nothing to do but think about this. I even wrote, I'm like, Abby, calm down. I know she freaked out about the Max not being on the call list or whatever, but she keeps pushing and pushing. Right when they're doing well, she keeps pushing.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, that's very human, as we've said, at least with their storyline. It's very grounded and it's very human, but yeah, it's almost becoming redundant at this point. Either let them be a family with Max and work through this, or break them up for a while, because Abby and Ashley both really are sort of bright spots in the show that need way more material.
Yes, agreed.
And, you know, have them work together. I mean, Abby, you know, where is she at? Do we even know if she's working for Jabot or Newman at this point?
She's too
with
busy.
the drug, and they didn't decide what to do with her after that. Yeah.
She's too busy stealing toys back from the pediatric ward.
I love that, by the way, though. It was a little bit of flashback to old Abby, the spoiled brat.
I think Abby just needs to calm down. It's going to work out. But Stitch is not somebody that you can push. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah, I mean, he and Dylan are very similar. Both, you know, they were friends in the Army. They're very, you know, closed off guys. And you see that they've opened up to these women as much as they can. And it's great that they still have this, you know, where they can talk.
Love it.
Because it at least gives you a perspective that they're never going to give their women. Yeah. And that's why, like, Ashley has sort of the voice of reason with the Stitch and Abby relationship. Like, quit pushing.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course, we're talking to Ashley, who didn't kiss Dr. Neville for, like, you know, all this whole time. Just when he's leaving, she's like, mwah. So, I don't know. They're on either sides of the issue.
Yeah, and to me, it's just so sad because we love Sean Kerrigan and we want to see more for Stitch. So either bring Max back so we can actually see the storyline, or let's move on to something else.
I would love to see the struggle of Max trying to fit back into society, dealing with whatever he's dealing with, because before Max left, they had some really powerful scenes. We got to see Sean's great acting, and there was some nice moments, you know. Yeah. And you know how much I hate children, but those are some nice moments that I wouldn't mind seeing.
Yeah, because to me, the little scene with Sully, I'm like, just pull my heartstrings, because Abby was so good with him, and I'm like, oh, this is such a good...
Yeah.
This is the side of her that we wanted to see that we didn't, because they lost the baby, which was great for, you know, drama, but at the same time, it's like... I've always pushed for Abby and Devon, because I know.
I swear, you and Kira should set up Devon's dating service. You just want everybody with Devon.
We love Brighton.
Sexy.
He's just such a nice guy that gets crapped on.
Yeah.
Just like Kevin, which, and I still will not believe it till I see it, because I know my girl Chloe is a schemer. So let's go into Kevin's not the father.
I wrote down and said, Kevin, if you want to be a father, wash your damn hair. Kira, or Lacretia, why can't he wash his hair?
I don't know. You know, Kevin's got a lot on his plate. He literally solves every crime in the city, despite the fact that Genoa City has a big police department.
No, I'm just kidding. But I'm like, you know, he's playing that, you know, the computer nerdy guy. But I'm like, every time I see him, I was like, because he's got great hair, right? Wash your hair, then you can be a daddy.
I still think he is the daddy, because the guilt on Chloe's face just says it all. Because to me, it's like, it makes sense for her to try and push it to be Billy's kid. It's not, because Billy has too many damn kids. He doesn't need to be the Sonny Corinthos of Genoa City.
I don't think he's the father. I just don't think that, because I think Chloe would have used that to her advantage, and she's just not. And she wouldn't have gone to do the paternity test. Although we do know if in scientific testing she can, you know, manipulate. I think we're going to find out that the kid is Billy's, or on a limb we're going to find out that it's Adam somehow.
Again, Adam already has another kid that we don't, Sully is technically Adam.
You know, Adam. Orange is the new Adam.
Yeah, if only. But yeah, like I really do hope that it winds up being Kevin's in the end. And I feel like Chloe is not revealing this and sort of working it because she knows, like, she's on this mission to get Adam, to get revenge, and Kevin and a baby would get in the way if that, because they would be a happy family. He is still so in love with her, and I feel that her standoffishness is because she does care about Kevin.
Oh, I believe 110% she has feelings for Kevin. Their scenes together were so nice, and it's almost like she's like, you know what, I could give up this whole mission and just be a normal person with Kevin. I totally see that. Plus, I'm in love with the actress. She's such a great actress. So many great moments this week. So then, do you think that she is like, well, Adam's in jail, now what? She wants more revenge, you think?
Yeah, I feel that she's at this place, especially, I guess we'll just move into her scenes there with him in the jail. And I'm just like, the Oscar goes to Elizabeth Hendrickson and Chloe. Because, the way that she manipulated both Chelsea and Adam.
Yes.
Because to me, Adam believed her. And he's usually the smartest person on the show. He's lost his brain lately, but this dude did go to Harvard.
Her scene was so good. What I like about her characterization is, we have villains on the show, and they're always like, I'm the villain, and, they're looking at the camera like, wink, wink. We did get to see her wink at the camera a little bit for that moment, but she really plays her scenes very subtly that you're just like, she's creepy and crazy.
Yeah, I've always loved Chloe, but yeah, to me, it's just like, this is so good, and where are they going? Because we know that I feel like Victor is going to save the day, eventually, but it's just like, Chloe has really drugged this out and showing that she's got all the cards in her hand right now.
Okay, where's your guess as to where the pages are?
Oh, I'm sure, I'm just not sure where she would put them, because of course they're not in the hotel that she's staying at, or was, and she certainly isn't going to hide them in Adam's own house.
I thought Chelsea was going to find them in that morning book. Like, I thought it was...
Oh, yeah, I thought they would have been hidden there.
Yeah.
And, that would have just been too soon, because I feel like this is going to break Chelsea's heart, and I really hope to see cat fight scenes and classic Crazy Annie come out of Melissa Clary again, because...
Yes.
She took Chloe in. She cares about Chloe, and she thinks that Chloe cares about her, and I feel that she does, but Chloe is so singularly focused on revenge against Adam, and then Bella, being the new Delia, and it's just like, that's just not reality.
But, like, what more harm could she cause Adam? Maybe tearing his family apart, turning Chelsea against him? Is that, like, her next move, maybe?
Yeah, I could, honestly, to me, Chloe... in a way, has always supported Chelsea and Adam despite her feelings. So that would just be very odd, because I don't see her trying to break them up. But it's just like, what is she doing? This is the thing where I don't think the writer, because we've had so much changes with the producers. It's just like, maybe they don't even know. And it sort of seems, it's like, what is Chloe's next move? Since Adam is already paying for a crime he didn't commit. You're in his house, you're with his son, and...
With the natural choice for her would be is to do something to Connor.
She has already kidnapped Connor, and to me, it's just, I don't see her hurting a child.
No, I don't think, but I'm saying that, wouldn't that be the natural thing? Especially when she made that comment, it's like, well, does it feel weird that I'm with your wife and kid out there and you're in here? Maybe they could have a lesbian relationship. Who knows?
I loved Chloe's sitcom idea. Like, she's like, we're just like a sitcom. Like, and that was just so a me thing to say. I guess I should be worried.
Good job, Chloe, though. Good job.
I know. I just love Chloe and just love how she is playing the Newmans. And this is what I've always called for, is wanting more backlash against that family. While I like, them, especially like Nick and Adam, but it's just a matter of, finally someone's getting the one up on them, because they never let the Abbotts do it. And I like that it's someone, who is the maid's daughter, basically, Chloe.
Totally, right? And I love the scene that started off the week where Victor's in her motel room, because even the way that they blocked it, you have Victor on one side of the room and her on the other, and he's tall and he's in his suit, and he's literally ransacked her motel. Mm-hmm. And she comes in and she's, little whatever, and she still holds she holds all the power. Because she could just out Victor, although who would believe her? I mean, the whole thing could go either way. But I just love that this little person's back and she's causing problems.
Yeah, to me, this is actually what I've been wanting for so long, and I'm glad that it is Chloe, because as we say, certainly her or Mariah, just one of those blue collar people. It's so great to see them over even the Abbotts get the best on these Newmans.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, other people are busy getting drunk off rum, and they're like, we're working. We're struggling.
I guess let's move into, speaking of getting drunk off rum, I loved Victoria this week.
Me too.
Her scenes with Jill, and then this is rum. I've had so many bad associations with this. And then she's like, oh, but this is a single batch,
and it's
rare, smooth rum. And I'm like, oh man, I want some, Jill. Why? Share.
I mean, Jill's so smart in doing that, and we got to see Victoria's personality. Of course, Victoria's lost. She just, she doesn't know where she's going.
Yeah, and I love that Jill manipulated her because it worked out so well, and what we had predicted, that Victoria would come over to brash and sassy, but it just was so perfect. And also, again, like with Travis, we get to see this fun side of Victoria that had been buried so long because of her dealings with Newman and, always her daddy issues and Billy issues. And
what I didn't like about her going to brash and sassy, literally to the office, Billy, again, I'm officially over Billy. He's got a lot to do before he redeems himself, because he pretty much takes advantage of her because she's drunk, being all cutesy, and it's like he only did that because Phyllis literally slapped him and said, "Back off, get over it."
To me, though, I really love the Victoria and Billy scenes because, he knows her so well and she knows him. And again, as much as I like the chemistry between Phyllis and Billy, it's not going anywhere at this point.
Yeah, it's done.
It's the Liz and Nick relationship on General Hospital. The way you started it is what's going to end it, because it just... That
slap was so good in the elevator, though. I rewound it 3 times. It was like, boom, boom, boom. I was like, yes, I would like to do that to Billy.
I know, Bold and the Beautiful had to one-up them, though. But you'll see that later.
I hate the fact that Billy is acting that way towards Victoria just because all of his other options are gone. That's what I don't like about it.
I don't think it's just because, Jill has said this, too, and Jill is the knowing and all-powerful. She has become Katherine.
She's like the witch on the hill. She's like, let me see what my bones say. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love that. No, as I say, that I'm so glad that they are giving her more of the Katherine role, the puppet master, if you will,
Yep.
and because she is the natural progression. Sorry, Nikki, but
yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing here, is that Billy and Victoria do belong together, like Jill says. Sorry, and they're so great with their kids, and even through this whole I love Phyllis, Billy, with Billy and with her, with Travis, these are just exits when they're going to come right back on the highway that is their rocky relationship, especially now that they're going to be working together, it seems.
Okay, but how, so now there's 3 CEOs? It's like the Trinity, I mean, plus, we found out this week also that Jill, not only scheming with Victoria, getting her drunk on rum, she's using Kane. She knows Kane is not good at this job with his new campaign with, athletes and models. But remember, Kane was so excited to tell her idea. She's like, yeah, whatever. She's using Kane. She's totally using him.
Well, and I'm, as much as I love Kane and I love Daniel Goddard, I'm kind of glad because it's obvious that she's finally picking her own son over him.
Yes.
She's trying to help Billy with this, and that's why she's brought Kane in, and she's using him. And that's why I hate that Kane and Lauren sort of had a falling out because of it, because they were so good together. But yeah, it's like, oh my God, Jill is picking Billy over Kane and pointing out how he's not really that good at his job.
That's what I love. Like, he sucks because, everybody else doesn't have to show up to their job and they do amazing jobs. Apparently, I mean, Summer gets her own office now, but we'll talk about that later. Poor Kane. But that's what he gets for coming in with big britches, being like, I'm going to take over and this and that. I love when he tried to seduce Billy, we could work together. And Billy was like, peace out, bro. Not going to happen. I want to know who is working for Brash and Sassy. Where's the receptionist? Where's the marketing team? Who answers the phone? Where's HR? I wrote for this week, can you imagine the HR departments at these companies? Firing, hiring, office moving, their IT. We have to move the voicemail again. Oh, God, it's just a mess.
Yeah, and to me, it's just they literally have that one room that was the lab. It's like, this is supposed to be a multi-million-dollar company here.
Yeah, where is everybody? Where's his samples?
I know, we need a better set, or, again, Mariah's already working with Chelsea, but yeah, just find someone else, give him a job. What is Natalie doing? She's just rich.
She just got dumped.
Oh,
poor Natalie. I think everybody was like, Okay.
I know. I mean, no offense to Mara Caffrey, who's wonderful, but I'm okay with Natalie never being spoken of again.
Yeah, I think Natalie, although I think Natalie's going to be the one, because she's seen the security footage, she could be the one to put Chloe as the woman that went to see Victor. That's the only thing that I think her role would allow her to have parted.
Yeah.
I agree that she could go.
And to me, it's just
Sorry.
like, if they do bring it, Kevin's not going to believe her at first. And it's just only going to be so much
Sour
harder on
grapes.
this poor girl.
Yeah.
And that's my thing, is like, I kind of hope that they don't. I feel like Kevin may notice it and then be like, he's going to cover for her, because Chloe
Yeah.
is the love of his life.
Yeah. Oh, Chloe. Chloe.
I know, everything just comes back to her because we're so excited. But it's funny, a lot of people in the chat actually want Philly to happen. I know when I was first super excited about that, everyone hated it and they thought I was like,
Yes.
dark.
My.
And now they've all come around and I'm just like, oh no, I'm done. Like, it's like Nick and Elizabeth.
I just... Phyllis is, even though she's using everybody around her, she's too smart, and I think she's seen Billy for the spoiled little brat that he is. I think if the only way it could work is if Billy really redeems himself with his company, which he's not even trying. He's at the office like, I mean, he can't even sit up straight. Like, Billy, get your crap together, and maybe Phyllis will reconsider.
And I feel like this is exactly why Jill put Kane in there, for them to pit against each other, because Billy needs competition for him to work. And I feel like having that competition is giving him more, and especially now that Victoria's come in, he'll want to prove to be the man that he's always trying to prove he is to her. And yeah, that's why I say it. I mean, unfortunately, I think Phyllis and Billy may be done for now, because they're all getting brash and sassy.
It could be where it goes in and out in waves. I mean, that passion in the elevator, I mean, whether they like each other or not, that passion is still there.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they are very passionate about
Yes.
one another. And, you know, they were great friends before because they get each other. You know, with Victoria and Jack, they want to be better people for them. But with each other, they just love their destructiveness.
And there's sex. Don't forget the sex.
Yeah, and I love how R. Melvin said, it's about time Jill was a good mother to Billy. It's like, I agree. I love Jill, but she's always loved Kane more.
Well. Oh, poor Kane.
And Mel says, I love Jack, but he basically pushed Phyllis and Billy together. He has no one to blame but himself. I will say he kind of has Victor and Marco and Sally to blame in a way, because Jack and Phyllis were actually very strong before that. And I feel that that's really been Phyllis's reluctance with Jack, and probably why she's pushed so much with Billy, because I mean, that was sexual assault. And when the man you look at is the man that was,
Yeah, that's got to be creepy.
And that's the thing, is I like that they explained it. She says that one time, but let's have Phyllis talk about that more, because that would actually make this storyline a lot more clear, and you really feel for Phyllis, as opposed to, you know, some of the times where you're like, oh my God, Phyllis, how dare you?
Well, and to that point, I thought she was using the whole, I don't want to deal with Victor. I thought she was just using that as an excuse. But you're right. I mean, that would scar her and definitely leave her looking at other options.
Yeah, and that's great. Like soiree on Rosé.
I
love that
soiree.
screen name.
Me
Says,
too.
we hate what Philly are doing to Jack, but we love the couple. They are fine. And I was like, you know, that's what I've hoped to say. You know, and I really liked it up until a point where, you know, Jill was working Phyllis and that worked. That to me was sort of like, okay.
Well, but you know what? The excitement between Phyllis and Billy worked like when they were in the park and they shouldn't have been kissing, or they were on the motorcycle and they shouldn't have been. But remember the weekend that she decided to quote unquote go to Canada, and they spent one night on their living room floor? It was kind of boring. It was like, oh, well, now that there's no real danger, or, you know, now that they have nothing to do but sit and talk to each other, I thought it was kind of boring.
Yeah, I mean, they're almost like the Jason and Sam, where if there's no, you know, action or any, you know, deals going on, that it's kind of boring.
And literally think about it, what would they have to talk to each other about? I mean, what does Billy have, like, if Lacretia, if you were to go on a date with Billy, what would he have to talk about? My mom's redecorating my house, and my company was taken away, and I'm on this board, I don't know. Like, what would he talk about?
I would hope the Edmonton Oilers, but that's Jason Thompson. But
like, Phyllis would be fun to go on a date with.
Oh yeah, Phyllis is super fun, and that is the thing. Is like, when you think about it, Billy and Victoria are kind of boring, because both of them, all they have is work.
boring.
Yeah, they're cute boring.
Like when they joked about the limbo, I'm like,
That was fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like Billy and Phyllis should have stuff like that to talk about. But yeah, you bring up a good point that it's like, yeah, what are we talking about here? Billy's, remember that girl Bethany? She was fun. Let's bring her
Let's
back.
have a threesome.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, Billy. I love you so much. So let's hope you get better storylines soon.
I tell you, it's going to take a while for me to like him again.
But speaking of people we don't like, Summer's not pregnant, thank God.
Okay, I have a lot to say about the Summer. Number one, she got an amazing office, by the way. Number two, did you see her amazing apartment? Which makes me believe, even though we know that she's super busy filming other things in real life, there's got to be some storylines, because they would not devote that much time and energy into these new sets if this storyline wasn't going to be something big.
Yeah, because see, the Summers apartment has been there for a little while, so before they know that she was going to go on Life in Pieces. But yeah, it feels like we're seeing a lot of it.
It's like they rebuilt it, you know? Yeah. It was like in detail. I'm like, what girl that young has her apartment that clean, by the way? A Newman. But even her office. You know, her office was pretty big.
I know. I couldn't believe they gave Summer that office, and like Victoria's like kicked out, and same like with their dad, like even Nick.
I know, right?
But that's because Victor knows that Summer won't rock the boat. I mean, she'll do whatever Grandpa says.
Okay, to that point, remember when she was in the office, Victor's like, "Oh, I have a project I want you to work on. I'm going to email it to you." Then when Luca walks in to Summer's office, she had just looked up from the computer like this. Remember? I think Victor's having had her pretend the whole thing. I think he said, try to get Luca to propose to you. I think Victor was behind the whole thing. He told her to pretend that she was pregnant and to scare Luca to see what he would do. I think that's what Victor emailed her, was like, sweetheart, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
I'd like to believe Summer's that smart, being that we're told she's Phyllis's daughter, but at the same time, I'm like,
But she did it once before when she yelled at Victoria, and she was like, I'm just pretending, remember?
Yeah, Snowflake, though, like, the scene with her and Victoria was great, and then it showed, but then we keep having Summer back up, and Summer's always been kind of dumb
but you
when it
listen
comes
to Victor,
to guys.
though. Victor would literally have to email step 1, step 2, but I just thought it was weird that she looked up from the computer and then she dove into this ridiculous thing. Plus, if your girlfriend hasn't had her period, I think you would know it. I mean, you know, they share a bed. I mean, I don't mean to be graphic, but like, you know. Okay, anyway.
Well, let's just get back to Summer here. But yeah, like Summer, you know, I've always wanted her to turn out to be playing Luca this whole time, but I just have no faith, because we've had her come out twice here now and then go right back into it with and yeah, that's why I feel like she would listen to Victor, but I don't see Victor putting Summer in that situation, because as evil as Victor is, like, he doesn't typically like to put his young women family into situations like that where they can potentially be.
But he's testing her. He's seen what she's made of and if she could be a future Newmanette. That's what I think, because it was just too weird, and it was whatever. I thought when Phyllis came over, she was going to say, Mom, it's just a ruse, but I think she doesn't want to tell her parents, because her parents have big mouths, apparently.
Yeah, and I really did like Phyllis and Nick coming together on this Summer situation.
Loved it.
Because we haven't had a lot of scenes between the two of them lately, so it was good to see them come together like that over Summer and wanting to do it better, because Nick's conversation with Luca just blew me away. I just love Nick right now.
Yep.
You know?
God, every scene he's in, I'm like, God, Nick, you're amazing. It's so handsome. Do you think Luca really wants to marry? I think he's scared of having no money and being out of a job if he's not in the Newman family.
Yeah, to me, I don't buy that Luca's in love with Summer at all.
Perfect.
Because I don't believe that Luca has a soul.
Thank you.
And then that's the thing.
He and Hillary should get together.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Get together and go right off into the sunset. Because I love Michelle Morgan, so hopefully we get, you know, to the bottom of Hillary. But yeah, with Luca, it's just like, we've not seen any side of Luca to me that has proven him to be a decent human being at all.
At all.
Because especially this, because he's almost creepy with Summer.
He is so creepy the way he looks. I totally agree with you. And then he bought the most god-awful flowers I've ever seen.
I know.
Yes, how is he paying for things?
Yeah, it's like, doesn't he supposedly have no job? Like, I mean, I'm guessing he's using his family money despite what he says, or he's using Summer's credit cards. That's what I think.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
And then he shows up to her office dressed up in his vest and tie. Girl, you don't have a job.
You know, dress for the job you want, and he wants to be Victor Newman. And that's the creepy part. And this is why it's like, I really hope that it does turn out that Summer's been working with Victor all along to bring Luca down. But I just, again, I have no faith because twice we've been swept out on the rug of that.
Yeah, but we do know that Luca's dad is coming into the scene somehow. So maybe there's a wedding.
I know, that's why I'm just scared because I'm like, no more. But I guess, I believe that is the week that was in Genoa City. So let's get to the shadiest moment of the week here.
Oh, go ahead, girl.
Well, since Kira's not here, I decided to pick one, and it's from my girl, Ashley Abbott. I just loved when she straight up looked Devon up and down and said, "Does it feel like a 10-pound weight on you when you're with that woman?" And it's just like, ooh. I love Hillary shade, because Hillary throws it out, but she can take it, too.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of good shady moments. Very good writers.
Touche. So I guess let's get to the best and worst dress of the week.
Okay, I was a little surprised this week. We saw a lot of what we call a peplum waist. A peplum waist is when it comes in high and tight, and it kind of has like a little frill around it, which to me is very 80s. It's like 80s working girl or 80s prom dress, and we saw it on Ashley wore it, and then Summer even had it on her dress. She had that weird kind of waist, and I did some research, and I guess that style is coming back, which to me is so 80s. So I was a little scared to pick one of those, so I did pick Phyllis. You know, she did a lot of walking around and finger waving and slapping and kissing.
I love that. That was very 80s.
And she was dressed for it. Yeah. So look at this beautiful, beautiful outfit. To me, what this screamed, it's a little retro, like 1940s meets sexy today, where we have the belt and we have these long kind of pant legs. And the way that they did her hair and her necklace, she reminded me of Katherine Hepburn in Bringing Up Baby. And it's like, she's a strong woman. She's kind of, it's more of a masculine outfit, but it was still glamorous and whatever. And she did not wear a bra. So she was like showing off her femininity, but in this strong kind of power. I don't even know what you call this, like jumpsuit-ish, but it was very stylish, very elegant. Colors were great, and she worked that outfit. So good for you, Phyllis.
Yeah, I so thought of one of my favorite heroines, Agent Peggy Carter, when she wore this outfit and the hair and everything.
Yes.
And yeah, the color really works. I'm like, I'm gonna have to wear that color since my hair is like Phyllis now.
Yes, so works. Anyway, great job on that. I really enjoyed to see her in that outfit, because they usually put her with like a blazer or something, or she's naked, you know. Okay, worst dress. I didn't have that much to go off this week, and I was like, whew, finally.
You just love to pick on Chelsea, don't you?
Because they dress her so well one day and then not the next day. But this is the worst I've ever seen Chelsea. Chelsea always dresses up, right? She just always does. She's wearing this like bedazzled t-shirt that's a little too big, and then she tucks it in with a belt in jeans. She looks like a cocktail waitress at a lesbian bar. I mean, like, I don't know what's happening. Even the hair, it's like Monster with, like, Charlize Theron. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, this does remind me of Sue Ellen's in Dallas.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And which would have been fine 20 years ago. This does not fit Chelsea's character at all. I could never picture Chelsea going and buying this T-shirt and then putting it on and be like,
Oh, and I want to clarify, Sue Ellen's is a lesbian bar in Dallas, not Sue Ellen on the show, because she was always fabulous. But yeah, I agree. The tucking it in is what made it the worst. I'm like,
right? It doesn't even, like, that's not even her, oh God, no. No.
Yeah, and Chelsea is a fashion designer. She's supposed to be fashionable, and you've picked her more than anyone else. So I don't know what the wardrobe department is thinking here.
Maybe she showed up late one day, and she's like, and they're like, just wear this. It's supposed to be Mariah's, but you can wear it.
Yeah, see, on Mariah and not tucked in, it would have actually fit the character.
Yes, totally. Way off on this one. Sorry, YNR.
And I guess I'll get to my winners and losers of the week. And my winner of the week, has to go to Victoria, because I love the Victoria drunk scene so much, because, again, since Travis has left, we have not seen this fun side of Victoria that I love to see. And just her drinking with Jill and then going and talking with Billy and really wanting to get involved with this company that she sees as her baby, almost more than Reed.
And, like, right away she had ideas of, like, that campaign wouldn't work, this would work. Yes, I totally see that. Although I would have liked to have seen her take Victor's plane, because you know she could have gone anywhere and met Travis in like some foreign land.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that's not the last we've seen of Travis.
hope so,
I feel
me
like
too.
her and Billy are gonna maybe make another go of it, and Travis will come back to mix things up. Since I mean, Beauty and the Beast should be over soon.
Or maybe Luca's going to get married to Summer, and then they say, does anybody have a problem? And Travis says, hey, Luca tried to get me involved with this oil spill thing. Boom!
That's a good story there. Writers, are you listening? But I guess let me give my loser, and I hate to always give it to the same people, but this week it's Hillary. Because I'm sorry, the press conference, you just look like an idiot. And I was so glad that
She really
Ashley
did.
was there to call you out. And it's just so unfortunate that you weren't voted off that board because Jack's balls are in your purse now.
You know, what takes a good villain is them being strong. Like, Victor is a strong person. Ian Ward is a strong person. They stand by their convictions. Hillary has no convictions, which makes her a very weak villain to me. And I don't like that. And I don't like that she's the woman villain, and they're doing that with her.
Yeah, I think that's very sexist in a way. And
Thank you.
I did love how she pointed out. She's like, if I had these traits and I was a
Yeah,
man,
that
it
was
would have been different.
interesting.
And then Ashley saying, oh, don't pull the gender card
Yeah,
here.
she did.
Because Ashley put her in her place so many times this week. I loved it.
It was like whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
It was like, Hillary's up, boom. Hillary's up, boom.
But yeah, that's the thing is like there are moments of, because Michelle Morgan kills it every time. I will say, I love her and I love when she's a boss-ass bitch, but to the point where it's just no longer fun anymore. It's just like either, you know, make her a villain, give her some backstory as to why this is so important, or just say it was the drugs.
Yes, just say it.
So I guess that brings me to news and gossip that is actually a little bit on a lighter note starting out. Chriselle Strauss, a.k.a. Bethany, and Justin Hartley, our lovable Adam Newman, are engaged.
Boom, boom.
I'm so happy for them because they're such a cute couple. And as great as Justin is, he's clearly marrying up with Chriselle because she is literally one of the most fun people I've ever met.
That's awesome. Where's the wedding going to be?
I know. Apparently, they haven't even set a date. It's all very new because that brings me to the next thing that Justin did an article or an interview, as you'll say, with Michael Fairman on Soaps, talking about how This Is Us, his new show coming on NBC that's getting great reviews, is going to affect Y&R and his status there. And in the interview with Michael, he does talk about that he has no idea. He doesn't like to be involved in that. I love that. And, you know, it is doing well with critics, and
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes because they're apparently not even shot in the same city. This Is Us is not shot here in LA. But there will be a chunk of time without Adam, is what he said. But as far as his contract, everything seems to be on the up and up.
Well, and you know, for him, I mean, primetime has a bigger paycheck than daytime, unfortunately. So, Lacretia, maybe that's why they're taking so long to get this story finalized, because the writers don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, I do feel that at least with this situation and Justin's contract, as well as with This Was Us, is what's, you know, causing this to be delayed a little bit. Because, yeah, I mean, we could just have Adam in jail for that extra time. But at the same time, it's just like, give us some more, because the funny thing is Michael Rady, who will be our special guest on the Unreal finale Tuesdays at 8 p.m. right here on AfterBuzz TV, since he is Coleman on that show, was actually the one to show Justin the script. And I'm gonna talk to him about that and be like, I'm so happy for Justin, but I'm so mad at you right now.
Oh!
I didn't even know they were friends until it was in that interview, and I'm like, ooh, fun.
And now, we know that like Adam's character cannot have another actor change. Like it just can't.
Yeah, to me, I mean, you've had the last two actors, you know, are so good, and with Justin brought a side to Adam that, you know, Michael Mahaney just couldn't have, maybe because of the writing or whatever, but he's brought a little bit of a heart to Adam, and especially with Chelsea and Connor, and even with his scenes with Victor, it just, we can't take another recast. I'm sorry.
Unless you want to hire a husky Latino. Can you imagine me?
You fill in for Adam?
Yeah. My scenes with Chelsea would be awesome.
Yeah, especially with that voice.
I'd be like, girl, what are you wearing?
Well, they did take Adam in a gay direction at one point, so then they might have to do it again. But I guess that is it for the Restless wrap-up. If you guys want to continue the conversation with us, you can find Alexander at...
Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air.
And me, I'm always at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. Be sure to tweet at us anytime in the week with the hashtag ABTVYNR and give us those 5 stars on iTunes. No less. Be sure to like and comment on YouTube, because sometimes we read those.
No, and thank you for your comments. I love reading the comments. I'm like, ooh, I wish I would have said that.
And the bold breakdown is on, since they're going to talk about that slap scene around the world, so stay tuned.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.